Barry Ernest apparently has written a book. I think it's called The Girl on the Stairs. I have not read it, but I keep coming across references to things he said in it. And apparently, at least he claims, that he found Victoria Adams and that he interviewed her and that she said things which contradicted her Warren Commission testimony. And the important point that I'm going to cover today is the part of her testimony where she claimed that after the shots were fired, she ran down the stairs and saw Shelley and Lovelady on the first floor of the Texas School Book Depository building. There seems to be this pernicious crusade against that testimony. And I think it seems to be based in what Barry Ernest said. So I'm going to have to address that because I think her testimony is correct. And so far as I know, she's made no public statements, that the only source for her saying otherwise is what Barry Ernest claims she said. I don't know if he really interviewed her or not, but Barry Ernest to me is just some guy who says that he did interview her, and it was many years later, so I don't know, maybe her memory has gone funny. But anyway, since I haven't read the book, I don't have the book, I'm going to refer to this Kennedy's and King webpage, and I have taken out this paragraph to illustrate the issue. Adams, Victoria Adams, had gone to college in California and attained a degree in business administration. She had graduated summa cum laude and had gone into real estate. But one day in the library she came upon a set of Warren Commission volumes. She began to go over them very carefully this time. She recalled that a messenger had delivered her testimony to her at work, and she was given the opportunity to make corrections. She did so, but now she saw they were not entered. She also noted that at the end of her appearance, it said she waived her right to review her testimony. This was not so, and she noted that her testimony had her actually talking to Shelley and Lovelady, but they were not on the first floor when she got there. Further, she did not recall the Shelley-Lovelady stuff in the copy she had corrected in Dallas. And this is from a document in the National Archives. It's part of page 64 of her testimony. 64 has numbered on these documents. And here it says, after the third shot, following that, the third shot, I went to the back of the building, down the back stairs, and encountered Bill Shelley and Billy Lovelady on the first floor on the way out to the Houston Street dock. And there is more attention paid to Shelley and Lovelady in her testimony. I'm just using this as a representation of that in her testimony, as recorded in the Warren Commission volumes, and as recorded in this original document in the National Archives of her testimony. She says that when she came down the stairs, Shelley and Lovelady were there. And this copy of the testimony is signed by Victoria Adams, as you can see here. Now, this is referred to as the Stroud document. Barry Ernest claims to have been the person who discovered this in the National Archives. I don't know anything to contradict that. This was, I'll just read the letter. Dear Mr. Rankin, I am enclosing the signed deposition of Victoria E. Adams. The following corrections were made. Page 59, line 19, changed to service. Page 59, line 20, and and, page 60, line 18, to Martin. Page 64, line 14, to there. Page 75, line 5, and, page 79, line 4, to officiously. Mr. Bellin was questioning Miss Adams about whether or not she saw anyone as she was running down the stairs. Miss Garner, Miss Adams' supervisor, stated this morning that after Miss Adams went downstairs, she, Miss Garner, saw Mr. Truly and the policeman come up. And that's from Martha Jo Stroud, Assistant United States Attorney. So, the Warren Commission had sent Victoria Adams' testimony to the assistant attorney's office here, and had her review it, make corrections, and sign it. And she did allude to that in what I read from the Kennedys and Kings webpage. And this is considered important by Barry Ernest because it confirms that Victoria Adams ran down the stairway before Baker and Truly came up. And I agree with him. I think that's important, and it's true. But this says that Victoria Adams read and corrected and signed the testimony. And if we compare what is said in this letter to the actual document we have in the National Archives, we can find every single correction mentioned. I've pointed some of them out here. I think I skipped over one accidentally. And it is signed. So everything is as that letter says. Apparently, Victoria Adams read and made corrections and signed the document that we have in the National Archives, the document of her testimony. And on page 64, where she made a correction, as I have circled in red here, on that same page, in the document she corrected and signed, on the same page she made a correction, she also says that she saw Shelley and Lovelady on the first floor when she came down the stairway. And yet, according to Barry Ernest, she did not recall the Shelley Lovelady stuff in the copy she had corrected in Dallas. Well, who cares what Barry Ernest says? And even Victoria Adams. The fact is, we have the document that she corrected and signed. And in that same document, on the same page she made a correction, she says she saw Shelley and Lovelady on the first floor. I don't think you can get anything stronger than this unless she had made some video interview in 1963 on the day of the assassination. And in that she said she did not see Shelley and Lovelady on the first floor. Well, that would be stronger. But I don't think you can get anything stronger than this. She signed it. She read it. She made corrections on the same page that she said she saw Shelley and Lovelady on the first floor when she came down the stairs. In my opinion, that means she saw Shelley and Lovelady when she came down the stairway. She saw them on the first floor. That's very important because they're not supposed to be there. I have other videos that get into why that's important, and I don't want to go over that again here. But I think we should dismiss this Barry Ernest stuff, this about the girl on the stairs. I think it's all irrelevant. Even if you want to go along with what he says, it still doesn't prove that Oswald didn't come down the stairs. I don't think Oswald did come down the stairs, but this is it's a monkey wrench in the gears of trying to understand what happened, and I think we should forget about The Girl on the Stairs, the book by Barry Ernest.